U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi revealing that the Biden DOJ seized President Trump's official cell phone and subpoenaed for his personal call logs from his first term. Here's the White House press secretary, Karoline Leavitt. Watch.
This is just further evidence of the egregious overreach and weaponization of government that took place under the previous White House against then former President and now President Donald J. Trump. It was a clear effort by the Biden White House and the Biden DOJ to go after the president.
And once again, Verizon gave it all up, responding to the compliance with the subpoenas, saying that they were, quote, facially valid and contained only phone numbers, not names. AT&T, as we have reported, did not comply with the subpoenas, said that they were protected under the Constitution and would not get involved. Joining me now is Ohio Congressman and House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan. Mr. Chairman, thanks so much for being here this morning. This is just incredible. I know that you're requesting materials from these telecom companies, AT&T and Verizon, related to any seizure of records from former special counsel Jack Smith. What can you tell us?
Well, I think it's interesting that Verizon is saying that all they saw was the names. That may be the case on the subpoena. That actually is the case. They send them, here's the phone number, give us the logs, who they called, when they called them, give us that information. But what I want to know is, what did the judge know? What did the judge know who issued the non-disclosure order saying to Verizon, you can't tell the person who has that phone number, whose phone logs the government is getting, you can't tell them that this is taking place. Did the judge know that it was the president's phone, that it was Senator Cruz's phone? I mean, that's something that we're going to look into as well. I think that's important. You would think that the judge did when he issued the non-disclosure, when he put the gag order on it, but we don't know. So we're going to find out that fact as well. But I think Karoline Leavitt is exactly right. You talk about the weaponization of government, going after your political opponents. That's what this was. Because Jack Smith, Arctic Frost, which then gets merged into Jack Smith's special counsel investigation, they went after the Republicans, plain and simple. I mean, all kinds of members of Congress, the president, the vice president, and of course the Republican Party, and all kinds of entities associated with the Republican Party. This was, as Karoline Leavitt said, the weaponization of government in its worst possible way. And that's why we're going to bring Jack Smith in and depose him after we get all the information. And frankly, the sooner the government gets open, the easier it will be for the Justice Department to get us the information we're asking for.
Well, it's pretty incredible what has taken place here. You're talking about 200 Republicans or Republican groups, including, as you mentioned, sitting senators, elected lawmakers who were actually spied on. But the absolute outrage here is also the fact that Jack Smith and the special counsel's office told AT&T and Verizon not to tell these people they were being tracked.
Yep, and the judge signed off on that. And again, we want to know what the judge knew when he allowed that to happen and signed off on keeping that information from the United States Senator, from other Republicans, from other Americans, and from the President of the United States. We want to know that, so we're going to dig into that issue as well. And never forget this whole issue. Jack Smith and Arctic Frost, these two investigations that get merged, these are the investigations that got the gag order on President Trump. This is the investigation that raided Mar-a-Lago. This is the investigation where some of the lawyers said to a counsel for one of the defendants, we didn't know you were a Trump guy. We thought you were interested in this judge position. Basically a threat trying to intimidate him. This is the same investigation where we brought in two of those deputies who worked for Mr. Smith. And when we asked Mr. Bratt and Mr. Wyndham questions, they took the fifth 71 and 73 times respectively.
Wow.
Took the fifth to questions like, was this political? Were you trying to go after President Trump? I take the fifth. How many other people, in addition to these senators, did you get phone logs and information on? We take the fifth. I mean, that's why we want Jack Smith, again, in a deposition format after we get the documents and we can ask him the questions that I think the American people want to have answers to.
There are calls for Judge Boasberg to be impeached. I mean, look, this is not a new judge. He's been here trying to push back on President Trump for a decade. Remember, he's the one who just gave the FBI agent a slap on the wrist who lied about Carter Page being an asset or working with the CIA.
Yep.
So there's that. It goes way back to Russia collusion with Judge Boasberg.
Yeah, I mean, look, everything's on the table with Judge Boasberg, because you're right. He's the judge who got the order, who signed off on the order saying don't tell the people who having their phone logs taken by Jack Smith and his team, don't tell them that this is going on. So we want to know what he knew. Did he just see the phone number? Or you would think he would know that we're talking about a United States senator like Senator Cruz.
Yeah.
We're going to try to find all that out, too. But everything is on the table when it comes to Judge Boasberg.
Well, it's day 36 of the government shutdown. You've got to get back to work in order to have this play out. The Senate failed for a 14th time yesterday to advance the House-passed continuing resolution and end this stalemate. Do you think last night's elections empower your colleagues? I mean, Senator John Thune, Majority Leader, has a proposal to combine a short-term bill to reopen government and include annual appropriations bills, plus a vote on extending Affordable Care Act subsidies. But I wonder, all those expectations that the government would open this week, do you still have that expectation, or do the elections last night empower your colleagues on the left to stick it out and stick it to you?
I mean, who knows about the left? All I know is the federal public employee unions have all said that the Democrats should open the government. I know what Senator Fetterman has said when he said that this is the Democrats' responsibility. They should open the government. Chuck Schumer continues to have this debate with himself. He won't vote for the same thing he voted for 6 months ago. So I don't know. What I do know is I don't read a whole lot into yesterday's results. I mean, you had 3 blue states, right? New Jersey, Virginia, and California, and you had 1 really blue city, and the results were kind of what people expected.
Yeah.
So Democrats may want to say, oh, this changes. I think it's the results most people sort of expected would happen. I think the real takeaway from the election is a socialist. Now, he might put the word Democrat in front of it, but a socialist was elected to the mayor's position in our biggest city. That is scary. The socialist who wants to, have government-run stores. I said yesterday, I've been to the Soviet Union. I've seen government-run stores way back when I was wrestling in the Soviet Union. You go into a store, there's nothing on the shelves.
Right.
That's what this guy wants. So I think that's the big takeaway from yesterday's election.
In terms of YouTube now giving a deadline for users to recover any account banned for what was deemed misinformation about COVID-19 or the 2020 election. If those creators do not reinstate their accounts by November 9th, they lose their old subscriber count. They can still create a new channel, but all of this as Google and other tech companies are facing pressure from Congress for allegedly cooperating with the Biden administration to suppress politically sensitive content. Look, we were all there and we watched it. We know how, according to the Twitter files and Elon Musk, 1,000 people in government worked with, social media companies to shut down free speech, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, and so as a result of our investigation, YouTube has said people who were kicked off and have their accounts taken can now get their accounts back. They've just now set this deadline for November 9th. So we encourage anyone who wants to get their account back to do that. You get your account back. This is because of the work that you laid, the groundwork laid by Elon Musk and President Trump and everyone else, but the work of our committee in doing this investigation, where YouTube admitted that, look, they took people's accounts down that they shouldn't at the pressuring because of the pressuring from the Biden administration. And people can get those accounts back, but they have until November 9th to do so.
All right, Congressman, great to see you. We will keep watching your work. Jim Jordan joining us. Thank you, sir.